Hello, Algebra 1. Today we're looking at Lesson 2.7a. We're writing equations of parallel lines. In class, we're going to have two objectives here. I got to be honest, our practice mostly focuses on identifying parallel lines. And there's one practice problem where we write equations of parallel lines. We'll make up for that a little bit more in our next practice because it'll have some of these as some parallel lines writing equations as well. What you got to be prepared to do here is you got to be prepared to find the slopes of lines, okay? Because that's how you're going to know if the lines are parallel or not. If they're parallel, they never touch. And if they never touch, that means their slopes have to be exactly the same. So that's what we're going to be looking at, is that if the slopes are exactly the same, and also you can use this for vertical. If they're vertical, the slope's undefined. If you have undefined slopes, I think of those as being the same slope. And then horizontal, if y is equals 0, same slopes. But anyway, if you have the same slopes, they are going to be parallel. They're never going to cross. So sometimes what will happen is you will be given a graph, and a lot of times you can kind of guess. It's like if they look like they're parallel and never going to cross, you can guess, but sometimes it's tricky to tell. So if you're given a graph, probably the easiest way to do it is to do a slope triangle. Go down 1 and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So down 1 over 5. The slope of this one is negative 1/5. Down 1 over 1, 2, 3, 4. The slope of this one is negative 1/4. Down 1 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The slope of this one is negative 1/5. So which lines are parallel? Well, they named them here. Looks like A and C have the same slope. So A and C are parallel. Well, for a second, I want you to pretend like we didn't have a graph and we were just given these points here, okay? I want you to pretend for a second. If that was the case, you would have to use the slope formula. 3 minus 2, negative 4 minus 1. But you're totally going to get the same slope. 0 minus negative 1. Negative 3 minus 1. Those aren't parallel. I think that's negative 4. Yeah, negative 4. So negative 4 minus negative 5. And negative 3 minus 2. And I get 1 over negative 5. And so be prepared to do either one of these in your practice to find out what the slopes are, okay? Either use the slope formula or use a graph if you're given it. Also, there's times where you'll want to get y by itself because then you'll have it in slope-intercept form and you'll be able to get the slope that way. So those are the three different ways you can get slope in order to tell if lines are parallel or not. All right, so there's a lot going on. And then additionally, what you can do is you can write an equation of a parallel line. So what they've got going on here is they say write an equation of a line that passes through 5, negative 4. So check it out. We've got a point and is parallel to the line y equals 2x plus 3. Well, that's in slope-intercept form. And so we can right away see that the slope is 2. So we're writing an equation of a line that passes through point 5, negative 4 and has a slope of 2. So I'm going to do point slope form. Y minus negative 4 equals 2x minus 5. Distribute the 2. And subtract the 4. And I just wrote an equation that is parallel to that equation and passes through that point. Technically, I guess I could have stopped up here because it didn't say to write it in slope-intercept form, but man, I almost always get y by itself, okay? Because that way it matches everybody else. All right, so next one, write an equation of a line that passes through -5, 6. So here's a point, passes through that, and is parallel to this line. So same deal, but the problem here is this is not in slope-intercept form, so we got to do that first. Gonna move that 2x over. Divide everything by 3. Now I see that the slope is -2/3. So I got a slope, got a point, I'm gonna write it out. Y minus 6 equals -2/3. X minus -5. Clean it up a little bit. I'll go ahead and clean it up that way. Distribute the -2/3. So this will be -10/3, which is -3 1/3. Yeah, okay. And then add the 6 over. And that would make, I'm going to try to do this in my head. Oh, I can do this. So 3 1/3, well, that's like, if I round up, that's 4. And -4 plus 6, that's 2. So it's actually 2 and 2/3 left. Yeah, there we go. So check this out. Same slope as over here. Oh, sorry. Same slope as over here. Different y-intercepts. So yeah, that's how it goes. So class, they could ask you a trick question. And it seems like I've seen this before. They'll say, hey, are these two lines parallel? And when you look at them, you realize, oh, I got to get y by itself. You get y by itself and you're like, yep, same slopes. But it turns out they have the same y-intercept. Class, if they have the same slope and the same y-intercept, they are not parallel. They are the same line. So be careful. I've seen trick questions like that. All right, so that's it right there. Thanks for watching.